Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to make a Halloween version of the Let's Go Girls tumbler that I made a few months ago. So I hope you enjoy the spooky version of this cup design. If you do, make sure you hit the thumbs up button down below and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Okay, I hope you enjoy. Let's go. We're starting with a 30-ounce skinny straight powder-coated white tumbler from Craft Haven, of course. And we're going to mirror basically the exact same design style slash technique that I did in the original Let's Go Girls tumbler. So we're going to tape off the bottom, like a little bit less than half. I want the top portion of the design to be a little bit larger than this bottom portion. So I'm just going to use this painter's tape I got on Amazon. You can use whatever you have on hand, is totally fine. And then we're going to base paint this bottom portion of the tumbler. I'm using Miss Lillian's Neon Magic paint. This color is Poison Apple. I got this from Simply Sarah's Customs, so I will have that linked down below in the description box along with the discount code for you. And I'm going to put just one coat of this paint on here. We don't really need like super full coverage. I just wanted to kind of match the base to our glitter color, but if you wanted to just go in with your glitter on a white base, you totally can. Painting the base to match your glitter just kind of helps with the coverage a little bit. So I'm just going to do a thin coat of this paint on the tumbler. Make sure you get the very bottom of your cup as well. And then I'm going to set that aside and let it dry for about an hour before I go in with the epoxy method to apply my glitter. So I'm using KS Resin Liquid Art Ultra UV Epoxy. This is their regular epoxy, not their fast set. And I'm going to mix up about 15 milliliters. You're not going to use that much for the epoxy method, but I always have a harder time mixing smaller amounts. So I'll take that 15 milliliters, whatever's left over, and just use it for something else. I'm going to put about maybe 1 to 2 milliliters of the epoxy on this bottom portion of my cup. And then I'm going to cover the entire bottom portion with Mojito from PDB. Mojito is one of my absolute favorite neon glitters. If you don't have it, just saying, I think you need it. So once that's on there, I'm going to let it sit and dry about 3 to 4 hours, and then I'll be ready to move up into the top portion of the cup. I'm going to be using the Crystalac glitter glue as the adhesive for my glitter up here. You can totally use the epoxy method again if you would like to. Whatever adhesive you prefer is totally fine. Then for the top portion, I'm going in with Dancing Queen. This is also from PDB. This is a really dimensional kind of white silver holographic mix. So I'm going to cover the entire top portion of the cup with that, and then I'm going to pat it down with my fingers, make sure I can get it to lie kind of flat, set it aside, let it dry at least 2 hours, and once it's dry, I'm going to, as you can see here, roll the cup up in some scrapbook paper to really push that glitter down and get it to lie as flat as possible. And then after that, I'm going to go in with another coat of the glitter glue from Crystalac to really push that glitter down and seal it all in. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the bottom portion of the cup, so all of our glitter is sealed and none of it is going to move into any areas where we don't want it. So after that coat of the glitter glue dried at least 2 hours, I'm going in with my first real coat of epoxy. I'm using KS Resin Liquidy Split Ultra UV here, so this is their fast set. So after 2 hours, I'm going to go in and add a second coat, and each coat, by the way, is about 20 to 25 milliliters. After that second coat is cured, I'm going to do all of my sanding. I'm cleaning up the top rim of the cup here with my craft knife, and then I'll go in with about, I think I used a 100 grit sanding block just to sand down any rough spots of the tumbler. You want to make sure that your bottom portion with the lime green glitter is as smooth as possible because that's going to be our peekaboo section. So once I'm done with all of my sanding, I wash the cup with dish soap and water, and I'm going to tape off this bottom section so that I can lay down our stencils for the peekaboo. For the peekaboo, we're going to be using the same ghost file that I used in a previous tutorial. So we're going to place these down. Now these are just the silhouettes of the ghosts. So the way I created this, I took the regular SVG, made a duplicate of it, and then I basically just took out all of the cutout parts. So you can either contour them out if you use Cricut, or you can just delete everything if you use a silhouette. So you just want the outline or like the full shape of the ghost. I hope that makes sense. And then I'm going to go around and add a few little stars just so we can show as much of the glitter through the peekaboo as possible. I'm going to wrap the top portion of my cup up with some saran wrap so we don't get any spray paint overspray where we don't want it. And then I'm going to take Violet from Montana Colors, just regular purple spray paint, and cover the bottom portion of the cup with that. And once it's dry, I'm going to remove the tape before it's dry, set it aside, let it dry about 45 minutes. Once it's dry, we're going to go in and peel up all of our stencil vinyl. I prefer to use these sharp needle nose tweezers to peel up all my vinyl. They work the best for me. I really like this specific brand of tweezers. I'll have them linked down below. I have like 1,000 pairs of them because they work so well. So I'm going to peel up all of this vinyl and then we're going to go straight into another coat of epoxy so we can protect that paint from any of our next steps. I'm still using Liquidy Split, so the fast set from KS Resin. So I'm going to put this coat on, let it dry. Probably, I think I let it cure like 3 or 4 hours before I was ready to move into the next step. And the next step is applying our vinyl decals. So for the top portion, we are of course doing Let's Go Ghouls instead of Let's Go Girls. So I made this SVG. I've got a double offset going here. This bottom portion is glitter vinyl from Craft Haven and it's called Lime Tree. So I'm going to put that down first, and then the second layer of our offset is also Craft Haven glitter vinyl. This is just the color purple, and I'm going to put that on top of there. And then for our top layer, we are going to just use regular Oracal 651 white vinyl. And again, I created this SVG. It is available on my website, madebyManiandMal.com. Under shop, you'll just go to digital downloads. Now moving into the bottom section of our cup, we're going to apply the outlines to our ghost peekaboos. So I'm going to apply these to the peekaboo sections before weeding them and then weed them on the cup. It's just easier with all of those fine details and their little eyes and everything. So I'm going to put them on the cup and then I'll just take my tweezers and carefully peel out that middle part, exposing the glitter, and then we've got our perfect outline. If you would rather weed them before you apply, if it makes it a little easier for you to line them up, go for it, do that, whatever is easier for you, that's what you should do. So I'm going to apply all of the ghost outlines and then I'm going to go in and apply all of the outlines for my stars as well. Outlining these is totally optional. I just feel like it makes it look a little bit more finished, a little bit more kind of polished and finessed. It does take a little bit of time, but once you get in the groove, it goes by kind of fast. So once I've got all of those star outlines on, we are going to move into the back side of our cup. So I've got this image that I got on Creative Fabrica. It's this ghost cowgirl thing, and I cut out the words. I didn't like that boo how thing. I don't understand that, but anyway, I printed that out on the Paper Studio clear printable vinyl, and just to get it out there, I do not like this vinyl. It is thick with 3 C's thick, and it doesn't really print that well. I don't know if my settings were off maybe, but I'm not a huge fan of this vinyl. So anyway, once I put that onto my cup, I took some Mondo Llama acrylic paint pens, and I'm just going to trace over the image to make it match the colors that I have going in this tumbler design. So I'm taking this purple pen first, and I colored in the lasso. I'm going to color the hat, because this kind of peachy pink deal here wasn't really going with the vibe, but I really liked the image and I thought that went really well. So I'm just going to color it and kind of make it match the design we have going. Then after that, I'm going to take my black Posca paint pen and just outline the ghost, kind of make everything look as consistent as possible. And finally, we're going to go in with our middle section striping. This is also glitter vinyl from Craft Haven. This is the color Black Gold. And so what I did, I made a bunch of the striping shapes that you would use for things like this, and I just lined them all up next to each other. And what I'm going to do is remove every other stripe so that we show a little bit of that glitter throughout. And then in the middle section, I'll put another piece of vinyl just to give us kind of an interesting middle section versus just a random like one stripe outline or striping area, if that makes sense. So I peeled out every other stripe, and then in the middle section, I'm going to put some fluorescent yellow pearlescent opal vinyl from Tech Wrap Craft, just so we've got, kind of an interesting middle going on there. And now that all of that vinyl work is complete, I'm going to go in with my final 2 coats of epoxy. I'm using regular Liquid Art Ultra UV epoxy for my final coats, and once those are all cured, we are all done. So here is the Halloween version of the Let's Go Girls Ghouls Tumbler design. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, make sure you hit the thumbs up button down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, love you. Bye.